Welcome to Reflections, a program where we discuss values and virtues for the transformation of the individual and the society in general. I am Father George Ehusani, and today I have a guest, and she is Esther Waryit. Yonah.
Yes.
What place is that? That name?
Well, Yonah, I'm from Plateau State. But
You're from Plateau State.
But I'm married to a natural state man from Karu, Panda to be precise.
So, because when I hear Waryit is
Panshin.
Yes. Yonah is
Karu.
Okay.
Panda area.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, Nigerians have really interesting, complex names. Especially your own, the ones from the Panshin area.
Yeah. Special names.
Yes. Special names. Yes. Some sound like Chinese names.
Yeah, that's the Birom area.
Yeah, the Birom area.
Yeah.
Okay, so Esther is a public health nurse with the Ministry of Health in Nasarawa State, and she's in charge of gender.
Yes, gender.
Adolescent health. School health
services. Yeah.
And then elderly care.
Oh.
And you are here for further training on eliminating sexual
and gender-based violence.
But Esther, I am interested in elderly care, and that's part of your purview.
Yeah.
What is the situation around the country, not just in Nasarawa State? What is the situation of elderly geriatric care, and what provisions the government, like let's say a state government or any state government, have for geriatric care and provision? Because it appears that a lot of our elders suffer a lot neglect.
When you look at from the top, that is from the national level, I think this is the area that is long neglected. We didn't look at them as people that need care. And when you look at the maternal, reproductive, and neonatal child health and adolescent care, the elderly care has been
It's a missing link.
It's a missing link. I think not quite 2 years that the Federal Ministry of Health now discovered that, there is some group of people that we never thought of. And then they brought the elderly care.
I'm even happy to hear that it is now being included elderly care in the public health issues.
Yes, because I don't think we have any plan for them. We don't have a safe space for them. Look at parents, look at the government, the way they treat these people. They worked for 35 years, and after coming back, no plan for them. Some of them died early because of care. Look at the children. They don't even look at them that these people need special care. So they are just there. And we don't even looking at a home for these people. Maybe some have no children. Even they have children, they are not even...
The children are not able
to take care of the parents. So I think it's time we start thinking of how can we help these people to have a safe space for them. In the hospital, they are there. At least there are recreational things that we can be doing with their life to make them longer. But that structure has not been there yet.
I went to Cardiff in Wales to visit somebody. Was a bit demented, and I discovered that older demented patients, the government had a program that took buses to pick them every day, and they are taken to a daycare.
Wow, interesting.
And they are fed, and then they engage in games, they engage in exercises like playing piano, physical exercises, all kinds of games. They are fully engaged throughout the day and brought back in the evening to their houses.
That is interesting.
So the burden is taken from their home carer. The government is responsible for their care throughout the day and for their feeding throughout the day.
Oh.
So you get old in that kind of society, you are sure that your health care is taken care of.
It's taken care of, yeah.
Then you are a bit demented. Your needs are taken care of
by...
and you are occupied
engaging yourself, doing certain things.
Yes.
That will keep you.
And they were quite happy learning to play the piano, learning to play football, supervised so that they don't hurt themselves, learning to dance. And those are the things that will help the brain not to degenerate too fast.
Too fast, yeah.
So, we are here in Nigeria with next to no plans for our elderly.
I think, Father, the NGO I know, only few NGO are bringing that into their plan or into the activities. Like the Women Friendly Initiative in Kuje, I know they have that. They've been funded by an organization. I think I do visit them there when I was their reproductive advisor. They usually have that time. They will come, they will play, they will dance, their health checks, all. After 2 hours, they get back to their homes. And I think that kind of system, if you have that structure, it will help to make these old people not to...
Those of you who work in government, the directors and the senior people, is it that many people do not recognize that I may be in that position tomorrow?
I think most of us
don't think about it.
We don't think about it.
Because when I even think of how they treat retirees,
it's sad.
Somebody who retired 30 years ago that still happens to be alive, and you give the person 10,000 naira as pension.
It's gratuity pension.
Right? As pension.
Pension, yeah, that's pension.
Meanwhile, that person worked for 35 years, got to the level of director, but because he retired 30 years ago, you are still giving that person 10,000
naira.
No harmonization.
None.
And then we have directors sitting down in the office. We have, permanent secretary sitting down in the office. The people who are supposed to ensure
that these people are get paid, and we should know that things have changed 30 years ago. And the unfortunate thing, you look at a civil servant who knows that one day I will retire to be like the old people.
Yes.
He's the one sitting on the file of a retiree.
And when it comes to the pension law, there was a provision for every 5 years
to be reviewed.
Yeah. Right? Why do you think that the people sitting in those offices are doing nothing about it? What's wrong? Why do you think that those who today are sitting down in the offices, taking care of themselves, promoting, making sure they are promoted and they earn higher and higher salaries, but they neglect
the person that have just retired or has
those
retired
who perhaps employ them,
to work?
Yes,
I think it's a system issue, because we have beautiful laws in Nigeria, policies, but implementation is always a problem. If the law says after 5 years this should be reviewed, but I think people that are there should know that, I have a responsibility of doing this. Esther will be retiring one day.
Yes.
And I should try and fight for that to be working. So it's a system issue.
That we have our old elderly people living shabby, destitute lives. Isn't it a shame on us?
It's shameful. I was watching the television, 2 weeks ago or so. I saw old people lying down.
Queuing and lying down because they can't stand.
Begging for water to drink. And I say, God, my father would have been this. My father retired. I know his pension is not up to 5,000 naira.
My mother's one was 3,500 before we stopped her from going to do verification.
And I said, what if this man did not train us? What would have become of him today? He would have been doing the same thing. Then we need to start planning for this group of people.
Yeah. And you are talking of people who worked with government and who are entitled to some little pension.
That's their right.
Now, I'm saying there are numerous others, citizens of Nigeria, senior citizens.
Yeah.
There's no social welfare.
Nothing
for them. They are no longer able to work to make a living.
At all. Many of them are out there. At times you see them in churches, going to the mosques. They're just there begging. I remember I was to visit a family friend one day. An old man, I saw him. I parked my car. I went into my friend's house. I said, I saw one man. His legs were all swollen. This and that. She said, that anytime she sees that man, she doesn't know that she always think she bought some drugs, but she's tired. I said, tired? And I said, okay, let's visit the man. The man started saying that I'm old, I am sick. Even when I get to the hospital, I can't be going from one place to another. And my children only sends me money. Nobody takes care of me when I get to the hospital. I felt so bad.
Yeah, I mean, but whose responsibility is it to put structures in place for
government need to do that.
Now, and then we
even
may be
religious body needs to do that.
We all may be the ones to nudge our government.
Yes.
A lot is being done with regards to child rights, with regards to child protection, with regards to ensuring the safety and protection of children, even though we still have a lot of problem in that area. But like you noted, very little is being done. And yet, those elderly are among the vulnerable
group. I think this violence should even affect them too.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody needs to be speaking up for them.
That's precisely what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That the elderly people in this society, especially the poor elderly, they are among the most vulnerable persons that are suffering violence from the rest of society.
Yes, very well. I think about 60 or 70% of them suffers that.
And therefore, they are among those going to their graves in agony.
Yeah, in pain.
So, what do you think can be done in terms of to nudge government to do something about it, and to nudge religious bodies, NGOs, community leaders, institutions to do something about it?
Yeah, like let's look at the Child's Right Act. I think we need to have a legislation on that. So
we need to have a legislation.
Yes,
just as we have Child Rights Act,
yes, we should have the Elderly Rights Act. Yes, and that will go a long way in holding somebody responsible.
With the Child Rights Act, we're able to hold people responsible,
parents,
for the protection of children.
Children, yes.
Now, we need Elderly Persons Act.
Yeah.
So as to protect elderly people and provide for them.
Yes. And provide for them. Very, very key.
So a child, a son or daughter sends money to his elderly parent, but that money will not take him to the hospital.
Yeah, you need to be there.
Somebody needs to be
there. Somebody needs to be there, because the money cannot all solve the problem.
No.
You need to look for somebody that will take care of the elderly people. Even our parents are around us. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So if the law is very clear, when you do this, you know that the law will catch up with you. I think our elderly...
So at state level and at national level, we need to advocate. We need a new advocacy.
Yes, towards that area.
So what we are talking about is advocacy for the rights of the
elderly. Yes,
the
in the society.
Of the
rights of the elderly in the society. Very important.
So what will such a bill, what will it contain? For example, the right to feeding.
Feeding, health care, general care, a home,
the right to accommodation,
yes,
decent accommodation.
Just like we have the orphanage that is owned by the government, we should have that kind of home for the elderly people.
For the elderly.
Yes.
So the bill will provide for home for the elderly that don't have provision for themselves. Or they are too old to stay in their own homes.
Yeah.
They cannot handle all the problems of their own home. So they can't cook for themselves.
They can't.
So they need to go
They
somewhere.
need to go somewhere. Somebody needs to take care of them. So I think the law will go a long way. But despite that, we still have some challenges in our law. After the law, we need to enforce the implementation.
Because the issue is enforcement.
Yes.
Yeah, but first of all, what about even beginning to create awareness?
Yeah, that's another big thing.
That's where to begin.
Yeah.
Before we even talk of the law.
Of law, we need to create awareness on the importance of taking care of the elderly people.
Yes.
Because they are more vulnerable and their rights is being abused, because it's not a wrong thing for somebody to grow and reach that certain age. And
it's supposed to be a blessing for somebody
to
to
the
grow
society,
old.
grow old.
But we are a throwaway
culture.
So we throw away everything old, including our old parents.
Yeah. The values are no longer there. So that will go a long way. We can start, like the NGOs are trying to do something. I think the faith-based organization should take that
No,
too.
faith-based organizations, I mean, we do have, for example, the Catholic Diocese of Abuja does have, certain facilities.
Wow.
There are some sisters that are taking care of.
Interesting.
There are actually two facilities that I know in Gwagwalada. One is the poorest of the poor.
Wow.
It's called the poorest of the poor.
Oh.
And some sisters are taking care of them. And then you also have a hospice, an hospice that takes care of very old, some very sick and demented, and then unfortunately they have limited facility. I wanted to ask if they could take somebody the other day, and they have no space because it's just a house that they are using. So when the house is full,
no, you can't take more than
until the person, somebody dies there, they can't take another.
Wow.
And then sometimes people come dump their person there and you don't see them again.
So if these laws are there, the person will be arrested.
Yes.
The law will definitely catch up with that person.
Yeah. And we need more of those kind of facilities everywhere.
Everywhere.
Every village should have
a
place
home
that
will take care of this group of people.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you hear people saying, orphanage home, maybe it's the easiest place to get money, I don't know. But we have really
forgotten that the other end to older people.
And I want to look, I don't know if the government have planned that they include this elderly care into the reproductive health space.
It doesn't have to be in the reproductive
health space, but I want to look at it in a way, what provision or what policy did they have on ground?
From what we are saying, there is hardly any.
Yes.
So we now have to advocate for the inclusion of the elderly
care
in social welfare
as a whole.
So the Ministry of Social Welfare on the national level and on state level should have a good department
for that particular group.
Like I said, I was excited to know that in your brief, it includes elderly care.
Yeah.
But like you're likely not have any budget.
No, we don't have a budget. Like we have a budget for the whole of the reproductive health space, but to stand alone, we don't have that. We don't even have a home. So it's something that we need to include.
Yes.
To have a budget line. If these people are there, what happened to them? Where is the money coming from? We should say, we have that in the budget line. So we'll just go there and pick up the money.
The Bible is full of blessings for people who take care of their parents when they are old.
Yeah.
So a nation that takes care of its elderly will benefit from those blessings.
Yeah, we have a blessed nation.
Yes. So it's a nation that throws away its older people. It's a bad one.
It's a very, very bad one.
Somebody called me recently. She struggled with her sibling who is autistic, and this person now is getting old. This person is going towards 60, meaning the autistic lady is going towards 60. And then the sister who has been taking care of her is getting old herself. She can't continue to physically. And they asked me, where can we take this person to? The only place I know, I called them, they were overcrowded.
Maybe that's another issue. It's a big.
So we need, these people need government support.
Very well.
And we may need, you may need to encourage, let's say, the various agencies you people work with, that look, if your concern is with vulnerable people, please don't forget this area.
The area. Yeah. Well, though our unit has just been established in the State Ministry of Health, and I think that particular group of people should be in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. That's where the social welfare is. So I think we need to work together with the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development
so
to see
our
how
task is awareness raising.
Yes, we need to start doing the work at the background. What we need to put in place so that when
imagine a man who was a messenger, who was a megadi, who was a petty hawker, a trader, and then he becomes 70 years of age. And at 70 years of age, he's having high blood pressure, he's having some heart issues, he's having arthritis, and so on, can no longer help himself. He has no pension, and he has no health insurance. He's a vulnerable old person.
He is. He's really vulnerable, Father. I think the government needs to say if it cannot start from 60 years, maybe they set from 65 or 75 or 70 years, their health care should be free.
Of course.
Should be free.
Senior citizens. They are senior citizens.
They are senior citizens. They should benefit from that. The health insurance should cover them. Should be free.
I am hoping that State House of Assembly members and House of Rep people and senators, that some of them are hearing us, and to think that you will be serving humanity seriously if you devote your time to developing a bill, to promoting the emergence of an act to take care of the elderly in our society.
Yeah. I think that is something that they need to enact it as a law.
Yeah.
So that everywhere after they make it as a law, I think every state should try and demonstrate to implement that, to ensure that that is being implemented. I remember some years back, I think during the government of Abdullah Adamu, also in Nasarawa State, he said from 75 years, their health care should be free.
Actually, a lot of very poor people don't live up to 75.
Yes.
So it should be reduced to 65.
65 years.
Yes.
Maybe from 65 years, they should benefit.
Yeah.
Their health care should be free. Most of them cannot pay bills any longer.
I mean, you are even talking of pay bills in very poor hospitals where a lot of complex health things cannot be taken care of. But at least primary health
care level.
Somebody has malaria, somebody has diarrhea, to be able to get treated without having to bring out money,
The situation is sad.
Finally, how your exposure in coming for this brief encounter here, how do you think it will help as you return to your work?
Yeah, it will really help. The training is an eye-opener, especially in the area of religion and culture, as relates to gender-based violence. I think now I've gotten a more insight in the perspective of religion.
Yes.
Yeah, more insight. So when I get back, I need to go to have a briefing, step it down
to your people,
to my other colleagues, that this is where we are getting it wrong and we need to correct it. Because gender-based violence is a crime, it's a sin. And we need to speak up.
Yeah, as a religious person or as religious people, they should know that this is not just a crime, it is also a sin.
And they should be able to preach it at every level. during someone or any time they should be able to talk about it. And even the case comes to them, they should not be hiding, speaking, cover up. So they say, you know, the Bible held the divorce. No, you are a Muslim woman, you are a Christian woman, you don't need to do that, you don't need to say it, you need to hide it. But the religious body is supposed to help us.
I mean, as we said here, and we're going to continue to say, that yes, Christianity hates divorce, but you can temporarily separate from an abusive relationship. Oh, that is very clear.
Abusive relationship is not good.
Your religion, the Christian religion, does not say you should subject yourself to abusive relationship, which is why in our church we have what is called judicial separation. Judicial separation, whereby you can go and get officially temporarily separated from somebody that is abusing you.
Because the violence is getting out of hand. A man battered his wife, the woman to the husband. No, it's something that is in the increase.
Well, people are hurting. We have discussed it in this program. People are hurting, and unfortunately, they are unleashing their hurts
on innocent others
who may be quite innocent, and so on. We pray that Nigeria will recover from the present distress, so that if there is better security, if the economy is better, if internally people have peace, then they may relate peacefully with other people rather than just unleashing their hurts on others.
I remember somebody said that is poverty.
It's a combination of
things. I think he has issues with the wife. He hits the wife, and then we pick up the case from there. And when he was talking, he said that the wife did not even know that he suffered before getting this money, and she's not doing anything. You know, she sits at home and she's not appreciating him, and she knocks a lot.
She's giving birth to babies and raising them, and he says she's not doing anything.
She's not doing anything. Imagine.
I mean, housewife work is work.
Yes.
Raising children should be. That is another part of awareness raising we should be doing.
Yes.
That how can you say a woman who has 4 children, 5 children is not doing anything?
She's doing something.
She's doing a lot.
A lot. She have you to take care of the children.
She's doing a lot. Yes. So that's part of the awareness that should be raised. That no one should say that a woman who has 3 or 4 children is doing
not
nothing.
Doing anything.
Is that not full-time work to raise a child?
It's full-time work. Then you need to take care of her and the kids.
On this note, we'll be bringing this program to an end. I have been speaking with Esther, Waryit, Yonah, a public health nurse from Nasarawa State, who is in charge of a unit that is for children and the elderly and the adolescent and so on and so forth. And we're hoping and praying that after this empowerment, that she will get even more success in her work.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
I appreciate the film.
Thank you.
Yeah.